Hi everyone. So today we're going to finish these two ornaments. This is Ghoul's Garland from our Housewives, Halloween with the Housewives collection. And this is Holidays with the Housewives, Sweet Delivery. Thanks, Denise. Anyway, Chelsea's filming. I'm putting them together and we'll see how it goes. So to prepare my stitching for this, I did go over them with a lint roller and it looks like there's dog hair on them again. But I ironed them and went over them with a lint roller.
Ironing stitches down over, typically
upside down.
Upside down.
Upside down. Yep.
On a towel.
And your stitching will probably be straight and
your cuts.
Right. But they'll eventually get there. You won't be able to tell in the end. So first of all, I cut sticky board, the 3x4 inch size, which is what the ornaments are. And then I cut for the long one. I'll give you the measurements later, but I cut long pieces like this, and I cut 2 for each back, 1 for the stitching. And then this one is a wide piece of sticky board. And I just want to do something a little bit different than we normally do, just for a change of pace. So let's get started. I've already cut 2 pieces of our red Priscilla's Pretty Plaids fabric, and I've put this one on the sticky board. And what I'm going to do now is trim it down on the outside once I find my scissors. This is bad. So that it's not so bulky on the back. I'm good with about 1 inch all the way around. And it doesn't have to be straight because once you glue it down. And I always like to start with the fabric instead of the stitching because then you get your mistakes out in the fabric, which you don't have to restitch if you mess it up. So if you've ever watched our videos before, you know that we glue the corners down at 90-degree angles with a hot glue gun.
If you haven't watched them before, they're listed in our videos.
And also Fat Quarter Shop, we did videos with them.
Right, on their Cross Stitch YouTube channel, so you can find a few different finishing videos.
Just make sure you press from the sides up so that you get a straight line. And you can see how straight it is. It's so easy with these plaids. And I do either the ends or the top and the bottom both together and then do the opposite. Okay, so now I have the front and the back of the ornament, and I'm going to, first of all, put a hanging loop up here. I've got a bunch of different ribbons up here. Just have to decide. I think I'm going to use the black checks. This is probably, what, 6 inches, 7 inches long? So I'm going to put it in here up at the top. And then I'm going to glue these 2 pieces together.
And just sandwich the hanger.
All right, so I'm just doing this as I go. I have an idea what I want, but I, was not totally set. So now I'm going to put my stitching onto the, first of all, the sticky board for the stitching is going to go on a piece of batting. And then I'll cut around it. Someone asked what kind of batting we use today in the video, and we didn't answer it. We just talked about using batting, but we use an 80-20 blend, just the same stuff that you would use for a quilt. So there's my piece. And then I'm gonna trim this one so that it's even, or sort of even. Okay. And then I'm gonna line this up with the bottom. And I'm gonna pull the sides tight and turn it and look at it and see that it's centered, which you can see that it is.
So she's checking the bottom to make sure that the tire stitches are centered on the fabric.
And that the
top
sides,
has enough gap, and then the sides are on there.
So just hold it like that until you lay it back down, and then do the same thing where you do the 90 degrees.
If this is your first finish, I would maybe start just on sticky board instead of using batting. Just
Yes.
because it is a little bit easier.
It's easier to get your stitching straight. All right, now I've got all the, and you can still like finagle this a little bit just by pulling in certain areas a little bit more. And use your fingers to pull it towards you so that it, or push away from you, whichever direction you're going, so you get a flat finish. And don't worry about the corners yet. They should be almost be together, but we can fix that. And it's harder if you have batting in there to get your corners perfectly pointy. All right, see my corners are still rounded, so I have to go back in there and fix them, but you can see that it's centered on the fabric, on the sticky board, sorry. Put a little tiny bit of glue in the corners and pinch it together with your fingers. And you can see that I have like a really pointy nozzle, so it's easy. And it's a Sure Bonder glue gun, and it's in our Amazon shop. And you do all four corners where you pinch them and just a little tiny bit of glue. And you can just use your fingertips to form the points and get it pointy. So I am going to take this black checked ribbon and I am going to tie it in a bow right below where the ornament will go. Or yes, the ornament, the stitched ornament. Actually, I don't know if I'm going to tie it in a bow or just a knot, because I'm going to put another ribbon with it. And I thought too about putting some rickrack around the front. So this is that Lori Holt vintage trim. It's really stiff. And I'm thinking about adding this on there too. Now you could, before you glued both pieces together, you could put it just on the front and wrap it around underneath, but then it would be a little bit lumpy underneath it. So that's why I'm doing it all with both pieces in mind. I had a piece of ribbon cut. So I have this striped ribbon. This is probably, what, 10 inches? I'm going to make a little bow and see if that's going to look good. I'm not liking that. So I think I'm just going to leave it like this. I might add another little bow on the top of this, but then I'm going to add a covered button and then a gingerbread man. So to make a cover button, you use the little plastic thing. Rubber thing, what is it?
Silicone.
I'm going to use this striped fabric, and you put the fabric down, put the button on, and then I trim it to get rid of a lot of that excess. Put the top on, which is the bottom. I use my scissors to poke it in there. And then flip it out, and you have a button. And then there's a shank on the back, so I take it and I just push it down. Do you like it with the rickrack, or do you like it without the rickrack? Which way do you like it?
Without.
Without? 2 rows of stripes? 2 rows of ribbon, or just one?
And then a bigger bow. Are you putting greenery?
Yes, I'm gonna put greenery. This is making me sweat.
I've got gloves on here.
Usually when I show you these things, I've done it a time or two, and that looks cute, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm using this greenery and I'm pulling it off the wire. And I think that that bow is gonna get covered up, but you're still gonna be able to see the ribbon behind it. All right, this is hard. So when I go down the basement, I finish things because we're in the kitchen right now. You're not allowed in my basement. When I go down there, I usually have no idea, and this is how I do it. I just play with these things until it becomes something I like, and sometimes I get it all the way done, and I'm like, I don't like that, and I end up ripping it apart. Oh, I told you guys these didn't have things on the back, and they do.
You're a liar.
Yep. Liar, liar, pants on fire. The other ones I had didn't. Okay. All right.
You
So,
haven't glued the stitching in yet. Oh, okay.
well, no, I'm not going to until I decide exactly what I'm doing.
Oh.
That decision hasn't been made yet. I like the black stripe better, I think. All right. So instead of tying that in a knot, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a strip. I'm going to glue it down a little bit in the front. Like that. And then I'm going to wrap it around the back and glue it again. This is bad scissors. Ouch. That one hurt.
These glue guns are hot. Again, the glue guns
Yeah,
are
have some water by
hot.
you when you do it.
Hot glue.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. We should have done a live video and people could have been voting.
Oh, shoot. I would be, I'm like dripping in sweat. I'm so nervous. I would be drenched. What do we think of that?
Love it.
Or do you think that this should go in the center? We're kind of covering up the rickrack and everything. Maybe I should make these pieces smaller.
Could you do this? Move this down a little bit over here. Put the greenery up at the top with a button. Like down in yeah.
That's cute. It's very cute. Look at you.
Thank you. Maybe a
All
bow
right.
in the middle or something, and the button. I don't know.
All right. We'll see what we can do. I like the rickrack on top of the black ribbon, though.
Yep.
When you glue this Lori Holt vintage trim on,
Just
you don't need a little, you only need a little bit of glue.
And that color is
Cloud.
Cloud. This is how it comes.
The bad thing is it's not going to meet in the middle of the back, but we can just put a little, maybe we can put a bow on the back. Wouldn't that be cute?
You know what you need is little like Finished by Priscilla things that you could put on the back.
Yep.
All right.
How about you as the assistant get that done?
Yep. All right. If anyone knows where I should get those, please put it in the comments. All right, step 3 complete. I like that.
Mm-hmm. It's very cute. It's a good idea.
Thanks.
I was trying to keep things away from up at the top because it always gets lost on the tree because you're hanging it up there and the stuff that you put up there, it looks cute when it's laying there. But then when you put it on the tree, it just like goes away. So that's why I was trying to make stuff down here so that it was more
Noticeable.
Mm-hmm. And then a bow up there.
Mm-hmm.
And keep this down here so it's noticeable, or you don't like it?
It looks weird there.
Oh my goodness. Tough crowd. All right, I'm gonna glue this down. Just a little bit of glue.
That's a big step.
Just a little bit of glue, and then I sit there and.
Was that the turkey?
It's cute, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we want now?
Do we want a bow or is it?
I'm gonna
too
put
much
it.
of
I'm
a
gonna
bow?
definitely put a bow on the back,
No, I'm talking about the top.
right here.
Yeah, no,
Up
right
there?
here. Like this just looks cute like that with the little gingerbread man.
Mm-hmm.
Looks very done.
All right, I'm gonna tie a little bow to put on the back, just for some cuteness, because a lot of my other ornaments aren't even finished on the back. So.
We're gonna show you the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. So I just tied a simple little bow, put some glue on it, and stick it on the back to cover up where the rickrack didn't go all the way. That's cute. You could even put another one of those little gingerbreads back there. In fact, I might take one of these and put it back there. I cut the back off. This is the best decorated back yet. That's cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. and it
Like
would
the
look
back
cute.
of an apron.
It would look cute if it said.
They can't see it.
Why?
It was, there we go. That's very cute. That would have been cute on the front.
Thanks. All right, so we're just doing this and the gingerbread?
I think so.
All right,
It's your
well,
ornament.
where'd the gingerbread go? Yeah, that's true.
Right here.
Yeah, I think the bow is too much. These you have to hold down a little bit because they're hollow, so that, you know, you're hoping that the edge of it catches on something and stays. We could do more of these buttons on the bottom. All right, and then I had cut the shank off this button, and he's going right on top.
That's cute. I say we leave it until we're done with the Halloween one and go back to it if we don't if you decided to change your mind.
I think it's cute.
I do too. I love
And
the
there's the
back of
back.
that. That needs to be on a tree where you can see all of it. Yep, there. Move it down. This way.
Got lots of glue.
All right.
Okay.
So that's Sweet Delivery. This is the first one that she finished.
And I used the Rick Rack or the Lori Holt vintage trim on there too, but I stuck it in between the 2 layers, and we do have a video on this if you want to see it. Yours looks smaller. We were talking about it. We think that when we dye the fabric, it shrinks really bad. Her truck looks smaller, doesn't it?
I was saying it because I was having a hard time stitching on it. I just couldn't catch it. And I think it shrunk a little
But
bit.
that's the same ornament, just 2 different ways.
Okay, let's
All
move
right.
on to Ghoul
Okay,
Story.
so we decided that we're going to add a little bow to the bottom and put another one of those buttons on it. We were going to put this cute little rolling pin there, but it's an ornament and I kind of don't want to give it up.
She's scared they won't have more when she goes back.
So to make the bow, I made, what do you call that?
Oh, an awareness ribbon.
Right. Do that, then do it back the other side. I just want a little bow. And then I have this really thin wire.
What do you think that's used for people to get?
Gosh, I don't know. You could use like a thin pipe cleaner too. This is like fabric covered wire. Oops, I just flipped it out of my hand. And I hope you guys don't think that I'm just like, I told Chelsea I just look scatterbrained doing this because I wasn't sure what I was going to do and then changed my mind, and she added her idea in, and we hope you...
Now you know who the mastermind behind Finish is.
Oh yeah, like I can even find you when I'm doing it. She's usually 45 minutes away. So just tie it, like wrap it around really tight. And then trim it off. And I like to take my fingers and kind of pinch it together. For bigger bows, I use a lot of pipe cleaners, but I've had this ribbon for like, or not ribbon, wire forever. So, and I have huge packages of it. I forget what I used to use it for. But I'm going to cut these with the V in them. And then I'm going to glue it down right there with the wire attached. Cut the back off this button. Put a little bit of glue on it. And then glue it down to the top. And there you go. The front and the back.
Cute.
Our Priscilla's Pretty Plaid Fabrics and our Sweet Delivery pattern. All right, so Ghoul's Garland. This is the original. This is our Housewives Halloween ornament. And I also stitched it. Gotta find it. Oh. There's mine. Chelsea stitched that other one. And I'm gonna trim it down. This one goes the opposite direction. It's longer than it is wider. And I don't have all those cute little buttons and things to put on here, so we'll have to see what happens. But I cut the regular size of sticky board, the 3x4, and then I have 2 of these pieces that I will have to tell you the measurements on. And I need to find the... Do you see the... Okay, and I'm going to use our Priscilla's Pretty Plaids in the same as I did on this with the orange and the black.
3.5 by 6.
The last one or this one?
The sticky board that I just gave you is 3.5 by 6 inches.
Okay. And then I need to find the one that's 3x4 for the stitching.
Oh. Okay.
You might need to cut one.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna mount this fabric on here. That's not 3x4, that's bigger. You might have to cut it. And what I do is I line it up on these squares to try to make it
I can use one of these, right?
even. And then turn it over, push it down on the stickiness really good with your fingers. And then look at the sides and see if you're flat across the top so that it's not. Then trim it down. Normally I take my sticky board and stick it on the piece of fabric so I don't have any waste. And then I cut it after I stick it down. That's your problem here. Just trying to cut it with my guillotine trimmer. Okay, so now we have the 3x4 piece for the stitching, and then the what was this 3.5x6 piece for the backing. And we do the same thing where we glue the 90 degrees. Did you want to fast forward this part to?
Sure.
Okay, so we fast forwarded through the covering the back pieces of sticky board with the fabric, and we're going to add the hanging loop right now. And I'm gonna fix these corners a little bit. Okay, so before I glue them together, I'm gonna decide, but I think that I'm still gonna use the ribbon over the top like we did the last time so that there's not an extra layer underneath. But this will go like right in here. And I do have a candy corn, but it's too big for on there. But I have these little candy corns and these little berries, which I did use something similar for this one. And I have this striped ribbon that I think I'm going to use.
Do you want the vintage trim or not?
I don't know, should we do that again over the top or?
It's cute. What about around the edges? Oh, you did that for mine. Never mind. Never mind.
I was trying to do something different.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay, right there.
Yeah, I'm not liking those candy corn in there.
Hey, Mom.
I know you're okay.
We eat yummy. Uh-oh. See, yummy.
No, those aren't real.
Okay, so I'm going to glue the two pieces together. I still haven't decided what I'm going to do. I might have to run out in the basement.
Hot.
Yes, it's very hot.
Ew. Ew.
It stinks.
You stink.
Who? I did.
It's hard to work under these conditions.
Ew. Ew.
Okay.
It's ew.
It stings. All right, let's watch Grandma quiet.
Hot, Mommy. Hot, Mom. What? Oh.
I need a wire to stick this
This
on.
is D. Um. What's that? The upper. The upper.
Okay, so I've cut these off. I think I'm going to use these up at the top.
Wow.
And I think I'm going to do a bow up there too.
It's a bee.
Or I could use them at the bottom.
It's a bee. Ow. Ah.
Here, dinosaur. Come on. Right here.
Please. Please.
All right, and I think I'm going to do this. And then put a bow right there. I need that orange ribbon. There it is. So this is orange black ribbon, and I'm making another one of those bows. Just twisting it around. Can you not make so much noise in the background?
I just want a piece of cheese. You haven't fed me yet.
You ate. Okay, so I like this, but I think I need a covered button right here. Okay, so when I went down the basement to get the stuff to make a cover button, I found this little candy corn, so I think that's gonna go there. But if I didn't put that there, I was gonna do a black gingham covered button. I think I like the candy corn better. Okay, so I'm gonna glue this down now. I'm gonna do the ribbon all the way around to the back again. Have you even been looking to see that I'm in the picture?
Anything on the white is in the picture.
Okay.
See how bossy she is? Can't eat, can't do that.
It's not your lunch break. Okay, I glued these two wires with the candy corns down. I'm going to glue the stitching down. So I have like a 1/4 inch around all three sides and then a bigger chunk down at the bottom. Just hold it till it's set. Then I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back of the bow. And then on the back of the candy corn. And this little candy corn came off of a bigger pick. And the ribbon has wire in it, so you can fluff it up a little bit.
What?
But there's,
Mommy.
there's that. And then we have to do something to the back, right?
This is what?
pretty?
Whoa, whoa.
So I'm going to make another bow, and I'm going to do it like we did the awareness ribbon.
Hot. Yeah.
Shh.
Yeah.
Where's my wire? Just pinch it together with your fingers and wrap the wire around and then twist it. You can also use a pipe cleaner. I use pipe cleaners a lot. And then put a little bit of glue on the back. And then we're going to add it to the bow in the back. The ribbon in the back, I should say. And I think what I'm going to do is make that covered button and put it on the back. Alright, so I need to find the... Okay, there it is. So I'm going to cut a piece of this fabric and put it down in the... Put that in there and then trim this. And fold all that fabric in there and put the lid on. And then press it down. Put glue on the inside of the button and then stick it to the back. So it's cute on the back and cute on the front. So there's the back. Oh, we lost a candy corn. I'm gonna have to stick some glue in these.
Huge.
And there's the front. There's still lots of glue strings, but we can take the lint roller and get all that off. And there's the Halloween. And here it is the first time. So you can see the difference between the two. And then the Christmas one that we just did.
There she is. Aren't they pretty?
Ow. Right there. Right there.
Okay, if you...
The Christmas, the Halloween, and then the backs. So
Beautiful.
hopefully you got some ideas, and thanks so much for joining us.